Good morning. We'll start the session. Before going to the today's session, what we had discussed in the last session? In the last session, first our point is installation of IDLE. So we successfully installed IDLE and we execute sample programs also. Along with what are the rules to define some names, simply identifiers and some reservoirs, keywords, along with variables. These are the things that we had covered in the last session. Now, coming to this session. So once we know the concept of variable, obviously you have to know another point. What is that point? Data type. This is another important one. Data type. Here, what is mean by data type? Data type specifies the type of information. The type of information stored in a variable. Stored in a variable. For example, consider the statement A is equal to 3. First, we will discuss according to mathematical. What is 3? 3 is called whole number. 3 is called whole number. For example, A is equal to some 2.3. What is 2.3? 2.3 is called some real number. Suppose A is equal to 2 plus 3j. 2 plus 3j is complex number. That means, what is the point here? We have different types of information. We have different type of information. Now, what the data type specify? The type of data. Data type specifies the type of data. Okay. Now, technically, these are mathematical terms. Now I am moving into technical aspects. Data type is divided into different categories. First category is numbers. So I will move step by step. First, I am not writing all the differences. First, I am moving with directly the first one, numbers. This is the first data type. Number in the sense numerical. Now these numbers are divided into three types. One is into, second one is float, third one is complex. What is the meaning of this one? That means in Python programming, we can use three types of numbers. Understand the meaning. Data type specifies the type of information stored in a variable. Stored in a variable. So under this, one such type of information is number. Okay, what are the numbers? Into, float to, complex. What is the meaning? In mathematical, our whole numbers are technically called as integer. So our real numbers technically called as float. Complex is as usual. Our regular complex numbers are called complex. So this is my first data type. This is my first data type. Okay. Before going to the next data type, I will explain in detail about these data types. First, coming to integer data type. Coming to integer data type, I will move to the notepad. Sorry, first ideally directly go to ideally here. Now A is equal to 5. This is my statement. A is equal to 5. Here, what is the meaning of this one? A is a variable which holds a value 5. A is a variable which holds a value 5. Now, A is which data type? I don't know. For example, if you know, not a problem. Suppose if you don't know, we have a predefined function. So, write down. The name of the function is type of. Type of is the function which is used to check The type of the variable. Type of the variable. How they given the type? Based on the value. Remember, this is the very important point. How the type is given? Based on value. Why I am using this word based on value? I will explain. First to check this one. Type of A. What is the type of A? Integer. So into class. Here, what is a class? We discuss whenever the object-oriented programming comes. Right now, you need only one point integer. Okay. For example, first b is equal to 3.4. Now check type of b. Type of b. It is a floating value. C is equal to 2 plus 3j. C plus 2 plus 3j. Now type of C complex. Okay. So three data types: integer, floating, complex. Here, what is my important point? Here, how we are identifying the type? Based on the value or not. If you are given the value whole number, this is considered as integer. The value as a floating, considered as a floating. The number is a complex. The data type is a complex. Now, the term is very important. Why? Because coming to remaining programming language, either C, C++, Java, except to Python, move to the remaining programming language. For example, assume A, B, C. These are the three variables. For example, I am writing a program in C language. My program is to perform addition between two numbers. So first we have to write hash include str.h. All these are not required right now. Int a comma b comma c sub scanf, or else directly I am given the values. A is equal to some 2, b is equal to some 3. Suppose assume float some c. Here we are performing some operations like C is equal to A plus B, or C is equal to B by A, whatever it is, you can perform any operation. Here, what is my required thing? Here, A is a variable, B is a variable, C is a variable, right? Remember, in all the programming languages, first you have to declare the variable. First, we have to declare the variable. That means, what is the meaning of declaration? Suppose int a comma b comma c. This is called declaration. The meaning is, so in this program, I am using three variables a, b, c, which holds only integer value. Understand the point? A, B, C are three variables. They hold only integer values. Other than integer, nothing is allowed. Other than integer, nothing is allowed. Suppose in the program, if you are given A is equal to 3, right? B is equal to 4, right? Suppose C is equal to 2.3, it is an error. Why? Why in the sense, in all the programming languages, first you have to declare the name of the variable along with the data type. But what is the advantage of Python? In Python, there is no concept of declaration. This is the very popular advantage. There is no concept of declaration. That means no need to declare any variable. Whenever you need a variable, suppose this is the program. At this point, I need a variable a with value 3. Automatically, you can use the variable with any value, not a problem. Suppose right now here I need a variable with 2.3a. So it takes that value. So that means you can pass any type of information to the variable at any place. At any place, any type of information, no need to place. Now, what is the data type of a? So here, what is my previous? I said one point, remember. The data type is identified based on value. Remember? So if you are assigning whole number, A becomes an integer value. If you are assigning real number, A becomes a floating value. If you are assigning 2 plus 3j, A becomes a complex. You got it? In the remaining programming languages, not based on the value, we are declaring the variables. So based on the declaration, we said that A is integer value which can hold only information integer. B is integer value which can hold only integer information, like this. But coming to Python, no need to declare any variable. In the program, you can use any variable at any point of time with any value. That is called dynamically typed language. Remember, this is the regular interview question. What is mean by dynamically typed language? The name dynamic in the sense at the time of execution. Dynamic in the sense at the time of running. So now you got the answer. What is mean by dynamically typed language? So Python is a dynamically typed language. How can we say that? In Python, no need to declare the variable before their usage. Directly, we can create the variable with the value. So, this is very, very important. That means, what about the remaining languages, C, C++, Java, all those are called static typed language. What is mean by static typed? Static typed in the sense, first we have to declare and then use. Okay, this is one of the future. Just know, I already said we don't need to learn the futures. We step by step learn the future. What are the two futures? Suppose first one future is we already discussed simple and easy. This is completed or not? How can you say that simple and easy? It is very easy to write the program. Compared to the first program or addition of two numbers program, it is very easy to write the programs in Python language. So this statement is valid. What is another feature? In which language we are writing the programs? We are writing the programs in our natural language. We are writing the programs in our natural language, right or wrong? So what is another feature? Python is high level language. Python is high level language. Now, is it is possible to directly interact with the Python script? Yes. Python provides two modes, interactive mode and script mode. So we can directly interact. So one of the feature is interactive. Observe all these concepts. Now, what is the latest feature we discussed? Python is dynamically typed language. Python is dynamically typed language. And one more thing is also discussed. Python is free and open source. That means we install the Python software in the last session without any pay. So it is freely available in the internet. Now, up to now, these features are completed. Yes or no? Yes. So no need to buy any feature. Once we move on, we automatically learn the concept. Now, move back to our concept of data types. Now you understand what is a data type. The type of data that is stored in a variable. Under the first one is number. Under the numbers, what is my first data type? Integer. Okay. Now move to integer clearly. Remember, we have two functions. Up to now, we discussed two predefined functions. The last session, in this section. What are the two predefined functions? Remember, first function is ID. What is the purpose of ID? ID is the function which is used to generate address. And what is the next function? Type, which is used to generate that type of data type. Always remember these two important functions. Now, so integers are whole numbers. What are the different types of integers? Whole number is whole number. We have different bases. Different bases. What is mean by base? So everyone know decimal number, right or wrong? Decimal number decimal numbers. Whatever the numbers we are using in our regular life, all those numbers are called decimal numbers. Decimal numbers. What is the range? Any digit. Remember, not the number, digit. You know the difference between digit. Suppose 1, 2, 3. Here 123 is called a number. 3 is a digit, 2 is a digit, 1 is a digit. So any digit is the combination from 0 to 9, right or wrong? Decimal. How 0 to 9? DEC, deck. Deck in the sense 10. That is, the numbers are base 10. The numbers are base 10. Any digit in the range 0 to 9. How only 0 to 9? Very simple logic. You can take any number, divide the number with 10. Any number, divide the number with 10. What are the possible reminders? We are getting 0, 1 and so on 10. All and so on 9 only. Now, this is a decimal number. First, I will give you different types of integers. Integers that are supported by all the programming languages, not only Python. All the programming languages perfectly satisfied these numbers. Next to one and the most important is binary numbers. Binary numbers, you know already. By in the sense 2. So by in the sense base 2. Base 2 in the sense, what are the possible digits? 0, 1. That means, remember, total 10 numbers. 0 to 9 in the sense total 10 numbers. Binary in the sense 2. So the two possible combinations are 0, 1. Now the third one is octal number. The third one is octal. Oct means 8. So what are the possible numbers? 0 to 7. So total 8 numbers in the sense. The possible digits are 0 to 7. And finally, hexadecimal. You have to remember all these types of numbers. Whenever you are doing programming, you have to know these data types, these types of numbers. Why? These are the 4 basic data types supported in any language. Other than this, remaining are also supported, but remaining are user defined. We have to define, but these are predefined. Obviously, all the programming language consists of this one. Hex means 6, decimal means 16, that means total. So decimal means 10, 6 plus 10, the base 16. What are the possible digits? 0 to 15. Observe here, I am using the word, not number, any digit. Now the question is, so 0 to 9 is okay. So if you are writing 10 as how 10 is considered as 0 digit, 1 digit. You got my point? We have the digits are 0 to 9, but my intention is 0 to 9 is a digit, 10 is also a digit, 11 is a digit, 12 is a digit, 13 is a digit, 14 is a digit, 15, 0 to 15, right? But if you are placing in any number, for example, my number is 12101. Here, my intention is this is a single digit. But in system point of view, this is one digit, this is another digit. That is the reason only 0 to 9 are allowed. In any case, if you want to place a single digit 10, instead of 10, you are using the letters A, B, C, D, E, F. Remember. So if this is how we are representing this number, 1 to A1. If you are writing 1 to A1, now 1 is a digit, A is a digit, 2 is a digit, 1 is a digit. Remember, either uppercase or lowercase, not a problem. Small a, small b, small d, small e, small f. Now you got it. Decimal numbers, binary numbers, octal numbers, hexadecimal numbers. So is it clear? Yes. We have, this is not at all completed. We have one more important point. What is that point? A is equal to 5. Here I am assigning a value 5. Now, 5 is which type of number? 5 is which type of number? It is integer. It is an integer. Now my question is decimal or octal or hexadecimal. We have three possible cases. Why? Decimal is in the range 0 to 9. Octal is in the range 0 to 7. Hexadecimal is in the range 0 to 15. Here 5 is, this is the range, this is the range, this is the range. 5 satisfies in all the cases. Then to provide differentiation, we are using some technique. What is that one? By default, every number is called decimal number. That is, whatever we are using in our regular life, that numbers are called decimal numbers. Now, to predict octal number, now we have to provide the differentiation among decimal to remaining. For octal numbers prefixed with 0 O. Remember, first letter is 0, second one is O. 0 O. Suppose A is equal to 005. In this case, this is called an octal number. If any number prefixed with 0, then this is called octal number. Suppose A is equal to 00125. Now this one, this is an octal number. Now A is equal to 00786. Now this is called an octal number, right or wrong? This is an octal number. Is this is octal number or not? No. Why? Exactly. So this is the most popular interview question. So interview question in the sense in the MCQ, this question is asked regularly. Generally we assume that if you prefixed with 0 in the sense, generally we assume that that is an octal number. But again you have to remember one more point. Each and every digit must be in the range 0 to 7. This is fine. This is fine. But about this one, it violates the property. Okay, fine. Now, third one, hexadecimal. So, here what is the prefix? 0. For hexadecimal number, the prefix with 0x. Either x is lowercase or uppercase. If x is the lowercase, output in the small abc. If x is uppercase, output in the capital ABC. Suppose a is equal to 0x 5a2f. Okay, this is a hexadecimal number. This is hexadecimal number. Finally, what is one more number? Binary number. Prefixed with 0, B. Any number that is prefixed with 0, B, that is called binary number. So my first task is completed. What is my first task? Integer data type. Integer data type. So under integer, that is numbers. Under numbers, first type is integer, which is used to store whole numbers. Whole numbers. Again, the integer is categorized into different things. Decimal number, binary number, octal number, hexadecimal number. Remember the ranges. So to provide separation among these numbers, every binary number prefixed with 0B, octal number prefixed with 0O, hexadecimal number prefixed with 0X. Fine. Now, the last point related to this integer. Now, go to this one. A is equal to, suppose some 84. Sorry, whatever it is, suppose A is equal to some 85. Print A. What is the value of A? 85. Fine. A is equal to 0B 123. Now what is the answer? What is the answer? A is equal to 0B 123. Remember, it gives an error. Why? 0B. That is a binary number. Each and every digit, zeros and ones only. Remember? Always remember, every digit must be zeros and ones. Now we will execute. See this one. Syntax error. What is that one? In the process of scanning, the first one is 1. Whenever 2 occurs, invalid digit 2 in binary letter. You got it? Now, A is equal to, suppose 0B, sorry, not O, 0. 0B 11011. Here, this is perfectly valid number. This is perfectly valid number. Okay. Now, if you are printing A value, what is our expectation? Our answer is whatever you are given, that is my answer. But always remember, whatever the base you are given, whether a binary number or octal number or hexadecimal number, automatically system takes as a decimal number. Automatic process. So if you are printing a value, it takes the corresponding decimal number. What is this value? You don't know. I will show you. I will explain how to calculate. Okay, now this is my binary number. How the system automatically converts into decimal? So simply, what is the binary base? The base is 2. Now system consider as simple logic. How can we say that the number is 123 in our decimal? How can we say that the number is 123 decimal? This is unit place, tens place, 100 place. Generally, my logic is 3 into 10 power 0, right or wrong? Plus 2 into 10 power 1 plus 1 into 10 square. So 100 plus 20 plus 3, 123, right? Exactly, remaining things also same. This is a decimal number. That is the reason we are with 10 power. Now, 1 into 10 power 0. Sorry, not 10 power 2. So, first one is 2 power 0, 2 power 1, 2 square, 2 cube, 2 power 4, like this. So, 1 into 2 power 4. 2 power 4 is 16. So, 16 plus. Next, 1 into 2 cube, 8 plus. 0 into anything, 0 plus. 1 into 2 power 1, 2 plus. 1 into 2 power 0, that is 1. 16 plus 8, 24, 24 plus 2, 26 plus 1, 27, right or what? This is done automatically by the system. This is done automatically by the system. Now, in the same fashion, 0 764. Now, this is an octal number. This is an octal number. How, what is the binary, sorry, what is the decimal number? Now consider any value b is equal to 0. What is my number? 764. First we will solve that one. Before executing, simply 4 into 8 power 0, 6 into 8 power 1, 7 into 8 square. So what is the answer? 8 square. 64 into 7 plus 6 into 8 plus 4 into 1. So 64 into 7, answer. So I am using simple technique. Everyone follow this technique. It is very easy. 64 into 7, 448 plus I know 6 into 48, 48 plus 8. So 504. Okay. Now execute this program. Print B value 500. Simply some mathematical calculation. Here, sorry, here 4 into 1. Here 4 into 1. This value is 496 plus 4, that is 500. Here I am performing plus 8. That is a mistake. Okay. Now you got it. This is the way to convert octal number, binary number in the same fashion, hexadecimal number, whatever it is. Now, for example, finally, 1A2. What is the procedure? 2 into 16 power 0, A into 16 power 1, 1 into 16 square. 16 square in the sense 256 plus A value is 10. A in the sense 10. 16 into 10, 160 plus 2. So we got some answer. This is the way. Now, the important thing is this is not required. Why? Whatever happened internally, that is not required. Whatever the base you are given, system automatically convert into decimal form. Now, what is important? Exactly the reverse process. Reverse process. That means, suppose if I given a number 500, what is your aim according to your requirement? If you want to convert the number into octal form, decimal in the sense automatically converted. So A is the decimal number. If you want to convert into octal form, now remember the function names. Now this is my next topic. We have the functions of oct, hex, bin. These are the three available functions. Octal, what is the meaning? Any base, not only decimal. Remember, not only decimal. Any base is converted into octal form. Any base is converted into hexa. Any base is converted into binary, not only decimal. So I will show you all the examples. See this one, octa of A. We are getting the same output or not? 00764. So octa of A. Now, why this is placed in the quotation means I will explain later. Whenever the concept of string occurred, I will explain that one. Right now, observe. Now, suppose hex of 500. Directly you can pass the value also. No problem. You can take the value to a variable and you pass the value, or directly you can pass the value x of 500. This is the hexadecimal representation of 500. Hexadecimal representation of 500. Suppose bin of 500. This is the binary representation of 500. That means oct is the function to convert any base into octal hex binary. Now I will give you the last example. Suppose A is equal to 00764. Now what is the type of A? A is octal number. You can convert any base. I already said not only decimal. Hexa of A. See this one, you got the answer. Same output or not? So you can pass any base. You can pass any base. This is my integer topic. My integer topic is completed. So under integer, what we have learned? Decimal numbers. So I will write down here. The first to my topic is data types, right? Under these data types, my first one is numbers, right? Under these numbers, what we discussed? Integer. Again, under this integer, we discussed decimal, binary, octal, and hexadecimal. Hexadecimal along with some functions. What are the functions? Octave, hexaf, binaf. These are the things that we have discussed up to now. Now, what is my next point under numbers? The next point is float. Float is used to store real numbers. Float is used to store real numbers. Here, remember, in all the languages, these have sizes. But in Python, no need to consider the size. So, for example, in C language, the size of integer is 2 bytes or 4 bytes. In Java, the size of integer is 4 bytes. But coming to Python, here there is no concept of sizes. So Python can store any type of and any amount of information. Okay, size is not a matter. That is the reason in Python, no concept of long, short, two-sided, one-sided, no concept. Why? In Python, no need to declare the variable. Whatever the value we are providing, automatically it takes that value. Okay, now coming to float. What is mean by float? Which is used to store real number. Suppose 2.3456 f. That is the floating value. Simple, the concept is completed. The concept is completed. What it can store? It can store only this one. For example, F is equal to 2.123456789654123. Here after decimal point, how many digits I placed? Check. Approximately 1130 digits are placed. F. We got the same output or not? It is possible in Python. Suppose if you coming to C or Java language, there is a restriction on the precision. After the decimal point, whatever you are writing, that is called precision. So suppose in remaining programming languages, float has a precision of 16 digits. That is, after point, only six digits are allowed. Even though you are writing more than six, it takes only six. Suppose coming to double, only it takes a precision of 14 digits. But ignore the remaining languages. Python, no need to consider all those things. You can write any number of digits. You can display any number of digits. But suppose I am reading all these digits, but I need only 3 digits to display. Is it possible? Yes, it is also possible by using some technique. So right now that is not important. Right now, my simple concept is read the value and printing the value. Just to reading and printing. Now, F is equal to, I am reading one more variable, 1.2, for example, 0.0000. Now, what is F? 1.5. Fine. For example, F is equal to G. Why? Because zeros are ignored automatically. Now consider this one 0.00000012. Now in this case, the entire F value is considered, but observe the output. That is my second floating value. How do we represent floating value? The floating value means simply real numbers. We have two ways. One is the normal procedure. One is the normal procedure. Second one is, suppose if your number consists of many number of zeros, or else suppose observe one more example, uh, 120000000.0. Now print d value, nothing is changing. Here the main important thing is always after decimal point. Always remember, floating in the sense the main important thing is after decimal point. Now what is this one? Why it is printed like this? I will show you. Here the meaning is, if you are representing the number 1.2 E10, for example, assume 1.2 E10. This is my answer. What is my input? Here, this is 1.2 into 10 power 10. Remember, this E is considered as 10. This is called IEEE notation. Here, this is called mantissa. This is base. And this one is called exponent. This one is called exponent. So, 1.2 into 10 power 10. What is 10 power 10? We know the answer. Simply 1.2 after 10 zeros. So simply 1 point is lost. So that is 1 2 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 9 zeros point 0. Suppose we will write that one 1.2 into 10 power 10. This is answer. What is this symbol means? This is the power symbol in Python. So this topic we will discuss later. Now this is the answer, right or wrong? Or else simply see this one 1.2 E10. Now observe the first one and second one both produces the same answer or not? Here see this one 1.2 E10. This is my answer. 1.2 into 10 power 10. This is my answer. That means this one and this one both are same. E is represented as into 10 power. Now, finally, here if you are using 1.2 E minus 10 in the sense, what is the meaning? 1.2 divided by 10 power 10, right or wrong? E power minus 10 in the sense we can represent this way. into 10 power minus 10. What is 10 power minus 10? 1.2 into 1 by 10 power 10. This is a mathematical notation. That is the reason it has many number of zeros here. Many number of zeros here. Generally, we are doing the calculations at this level only. This is a scientific application. Why? Because in scientific application, every last digit also very, very important, fraction of second. So in such type of situations, we are using these numbers. Okay. Now, finally, I am moving into the last topic of the today's session. What is that one? The last one. What is that one? Complex number. So the numbers topic is completed. Complex number. If any number is in the form of a plus bj, any number is in the form of a plus bj is called complex number. Now first point is a and b are floating types. Is the floating points allowed or not? 100% allowed. You can give a value as float, b value as float. For example, 2.3 plus 3.4j, it is valid. Suppose 2.3 plus 3j, it is valid. 2 plus 3.4j, it is valid. 2 plus 3j, it is valid. I think you got my point. That means a comma b are either integer or floating. Any combination is allowed. Now I will show you. Suppose c is equal to 2 plus 3j. Now print c value. So 2 plus 3j. Why it is placed in the brackets? That is the concept of couple. Right now you don't know. Ignore that one. So this is your answer. You got your answer or not? Yes. C is equal to 2 plus 3j. In Python, we have two commands. What is the commands? Real and imaginary. Generally, we know A is called real part, B is called imaginary part. For example, from the given complex number, if you want only the real number, so you can write C dot real. It displays only the real number. This is very important. Why? Because whenever you are doing the programming complex number, how do we, for example, my program is to perform addition of two complex numbers. This is a very, very important program. How do we perform the addition of two complex numbers? Directly, it is not possible. For example, this is complex number A, this is B. You are performing like this. C dot real is equal to A dot real plus B dot real. That means 2 plus 4, 6. C dot imaginary, IMAG only. A dot imaginary plus B dot imaginary. Now C becomes 6 plus 8j. Got it? That is the reason you have to extract individual real and imaginary parts. See this one? C dot real. The answer is 2. I will explain. IMAG. The answer is 3. 3 generally. But here observe y.0. Here I am given the floating, sorry, I am given the integer number, but the output is floating. Always remember, by default, every number in complex is considered as floating. Here, the same thing is happened in the last one. Observe here, my value is an integer. See this one? 00764. This is an integer. But if you are converting into hexadecimal format, after converting into hexadecimal, is hexadecimal integer or not? Yes, hexadecimal is also integer, but my output is placed within quotation. Actually, quotation means that is called a string. Quotation means that is called a string. Even though you are given the input as an integer, what is my output? The hexadecimal number, give the output in string format. Binary, give the output in string format. Octal, give the output in string format. That is, they are already defined. The X function is defined by you or developer. So developer already designed the function hexu, octu, binnu like this. At the time of they defining the function, they fixed the return type is string. Whatever the type you are given, final output is in the string format. Similarly, Whatever the integer you are given, the complex number returns only floating value. Remember, very, very important. Now, the last and the final point related to complex number. Now, 2 plus 3j. If both are floating, if it is a floating, no problem. 2 plus 3j integer allowed. Now, 123 plus 3j. Is it allowed or not? 100% allowed. It is an octal number. System automatically converts into decimal number. I'll check this one. Suppose C is equal to 123 plus 4j. Now print C value. See this one? 123 is converted into decimal. Now here I am discussing 2 points. My first 2 point is you are considering the real number. The real number is any base, whether it is a real number a plus bj. A is either octal, hexadecimal or binary, whatever it is, automatically converted into decimal. But why I am specifically speaking this point is we have a restriction on the imaginary. Imaginary part must be decimal. If it is a floating, not a problem. If it is a floating, not a problem. If it is an integer, it must and should be decimal number. Other than decimal, nothing is allowed. For example, C is equal to 2 plus 23j. Here I am given an octal number, series 1, it gives an error. Invalid octal literal. You got it? So real part is any base, but the imaginary part is only integer number. Only integer number. Okay, that is complex. That is complex. Okay, here what you need to remember, how to extract the real by using dot real, extracting the imaginary by using dot imaz, imaginary. Okay, so these are the numbers data type. Numbers data type. Step by step we will move on, and in the next session, we will discuss, we have data types are not at all completed. In the next session, we will move to with additional data types. If you have any doubt in this session, please ask.